Hunter Biden has been found guilty on all 3 gun charges that he was indicted for lying on his gun application form. So now he is now the convicted felon, as the left likes to call Trump. But is anybody satisfied with this? Miranda,
No.
You satisfied with this conviction at all?
No. It's going to go. But I am satisfied with the fact that they did introduce the laptop into the court.
That's exactly where I'm going with this. So thank you for the setup.
It can be used for,
And for everybody saying, well,
now it can be used for the real crimes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They were like, well, we're not voting for Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's not running for president, so we don't care about Hunter Biden. Guess what? The right and conservatives don't care about Hunter Biden either. What they want is Joe Biden. And Joe Biden, because they introduced the Hunter Biden laptop that was suppressed by the media, by the Biden campaign during the 2020 election that came up about a month before the election happened.
Information about Biden.
They suppressed all that. The FBI, they knew about it back then. They knew it was real. They suppressed that too. And now they introduced it as evidence to go against Hunter Biden in this gun charge trial. And Joe Biden and the Democrats are trying to say, well, this is the justice system playing out. This is equal justice under the law. No one's above the law. Hunter's going to go through the same process that Donald Trump did too. Well, that's bullshit. Okay, because this charge that Hunter Biden got is the least offensive charge that he is being charged or could be charged with based on this laptop. And now that we know that it could be officially used as evidence because they use it in this trial, here's a list of some of the other things that he could be tried with. This laptop has so many things on it, all the way from let's see, they led up to the censor let's see what else on here. I can't remember. I had a list of it here. He's got cocaine use on there, sleeping with a hooker, child pornography, emails that directly implicate Joe Biden in foreign business dealings with his son Hunter at Burisma and dealing with Ukraine. We got text messages,
and
bank
I definitely
records.
Seen, it's going back to when Biden was vice president. I've seen that there is proof that they were getting blackmailed by the Ukrainians when he was vice president.
Well, this laptop also had evidence of Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA violations, money laundering, tax fraud found on Hunter's laptop. Now, the tax fraud he's going to be going on trial for in September. So he is going to be doing that. Now, that particular trial will be far more detrimental to Hunter and Joe Biden if they continue to pursue this. Now, you got to remember, Hunter Biden was offered a plea deal before this gun charge and was going to be absolved of all wrongdoing of everything until this judge stepped in and said, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, we're not going to let that fly. He needs to be tried under the law as he should be. So this is the first time Hunter Biden's had his feet held to the fire a little bit here. And I'm sure it probably took the Bidens a little bit by surprise. But the fact that they suppressed all of this, I mean, and now that we know it's actually 100% true, here's a few examples of when the media, to Trump's face, tried to just discredit him about the Hunter Biden laptop, saying it couldn't be verified. Here's Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes.
You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie.
You know what you told me a long time ago when I asked why you keep saying fake with the media?
Yeah.
You said to me, I say that because I need to discredit you so that when you say negative things about me, no one will believe you.
I don't have to discredit you.
And that's what you told me.
You've discredited yourself.
You told me that.
Leslie, you've discredited yourself. When you say that you're not going to cover Biden, you're going to ask him what flavor ice cream he has, okay?
That's not
Instead
true.
of why did Hunter get $3.5 million from Moscow?
Yes, it is.
Instead of why is an energy company paying your son $183,000 a month or whatever they're paying him, and he has no experience in energy? You know, you discredit yourself. I don't have to discredit you.
So this story about Hunter and his laptop, some repair shop found it. The source is Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani.
I don't know anything about
And
that. I just know it's a laptop, and they haven't.
And you're making this one of the hottest, most important issues in your rallies.
It's a very important issue to find out whether or not a man's corrupt who's running for president, who's accepted money from China and from Ukraine and from Russia.
All these
Yeah, I think
things
that's
have
an
been
important issue.
investigated and
It's incredible the way you can try and say this and sit there and look me in the eye and say it.
a Republican
He accepted
committee-
money, his family, from Russia, from Ukraine, from China and from other places.
And a
His
Republican-
brother, who didn't have experience, became a big builder in Iraq without experience. Take a look at what's going on, Leslie. And then you say that shouldn't be discussed.
I'm saying,
It's the biggest scandal out there, Leslie, and you don't cover it.
because it can't be verified.
You want to talk
I'm
about
telling you.
insignificant things.
I'm telling you.
Of course it can be verified. Excuse me,
We
they
can't
found the
verify.
laptop. Leslie,
It can't be
Leslie,
verified.
what can't be verified?
The laptop,
Why you said?
Well, it was apparently verified because they introduced it as evidence in the Hunter Biden gun trial. So that's all a lie. 60 Minutes was covering for Joe Biden there. Not one retraction from Leslie Stahl in 60 Minutes. No apology. No nothing. This is also straight from the horse's mouth. This is Joe
She
Biden.
should go to fucking jail too.
Yeah,
Hold
all
on,
these people
hold
should
on
go
a
to jail.
second.
What?
Hold on a second, Eric. That she just interrupted a president, a former president.
Yeah, he was the sitting
Doesn't
president
matter.
at the time.
That's disrespectful,
It doesn't matter.
in my opinion.
Of
doesn't
course it
matter.
was, but they don't care
it
about
does
that.
matter, Brandon.
Well, it
She
does,
lied to
but
that man's face
It
numerous
does
times,
matter.
Matt.
You treat
Her
that man with
interrupting him
respect
means nothing.
regardless if you agree with him or not.
yeah. This is Joe Biden himself denying that the laptop is really Hunter's and it's Russian different. He says it's Russian different information, and 51 intelligence agents signed off.
50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage.
This is classic Trump. We have 4 days left, and all of a sudden there's a laptop. There's overwhelming evidence that from the intelligence community that the Russians are engaged.
I still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation and a smear campaign, like you said.
Yes,
yes. Douchebag.
It's a last-ditch effort in this desperate campaign to smear me and my family. The vast majority of the intelligence people have come out and said there's no basis at all.
Well, apparently there is some basis there because your son
50 former
just got convicted on gun charges because of it. So,
Yeah.
again, this is the 51 intelligence agents who supposedly signed off on that laptop and said it was Russian disinformation. Every single one of these are traitors to this country and should go to jail. Every single one of them.
There's a reason why Trump can't get my open.
Yeah. Now you may be
It's
wondering,
gonna be a
why is
place
this
for
so
all of
important? Why is the laptop such a big deal? Because there's evidence on that laptop that shows that Hunter's business Burisma was doing dealings with Ukraine, and a Ukrainian prosecutor was looking into Hunter Biden and his business dealings over there. And Joe Biden, while he was vice president, was trying to get a prosecutor fired who was looking into his son and was willing to withhold funding and aid from Ukraine unless the prosecutor was fired. Here's Joe Biden bragging about that while he was vice president.
So I got Ukraine, and I remember going over convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
So yeah, so he's saying right there, he had the prosecutor who was looking into his son fired. He's guilty by his own admission here. Okay. So, and the reason why this is so important is because who is it we're dealing with right now? Ukraine. We're giving them billions and billions and billions of dollars. Could it be because...
And we just did it. We're going to do it for the next 10 years, too.
Yeah, I'm about to show that, too. This is what she's referring to here is Biden just signed a new 10-year bilateral agreement with Ukraine that recklessly entangles America even further with a corrupt, undemocratic kleptocracy on the other side of the planet does nothing to protect American prosperity or well-being. It does the opposite. It ties Trump's hands, or it could potentially tie Trump's hands, and potentially, makes America have to pay billions of dollars to Ukraine for the next 10 years. And could that be because he's paying off Ukraine for getting his son off the hook? That's very well the possibility here, and hiding his own corruption.
Now sign.
So the fact that they're signing this 10-year deal, I mean, it just makes you really question about Joe Biden's loyalties. Is it to the United States, or is it to Ukraine because of their backdoor business dealings and lining his own pockets through, money laundering and stuff over there? So all this stuff on this laptop is very relevant to Joe Biden, not just Hunter Biden. That's the point here. And people on the left want to act like it's a non-story. Just like the Ashley Biden diary, it is 100% a real story and a real thing. And if it's actually prosecuted the way it should be, which I have very little doubt it will actually happen, because Biden's DOJ, we'll see if Trump gets in there and see if he maybe actually pursues this. But if he doesn't, out of unity, I feel like that's a mistake. Like I mentioned earlier, I hope he does do the retribution justice thing, actually. But yeah, this is all very well why it's important. And Vivek Ramaswamy put it very well, I thought, in my opinion. So let's check out what he has to say.
So Hunter Biden was convicted. Big freaking deal. This trial was a sham. Just like the Trump trial, it was a sham, but a sham for a different reason. It's a sham designed to legitimize the Trump conviction. That's why it came right after, even for charges that date way far back. But it also avoids accountability for the Biden crime family on the actual things that Hunter Biden should have been charged for. Like, for example, peddling foreign influence while his actual father, Joe Biden, was the vice president of the United States. Hunter had no business serving on the board of a Ukrainian energy company, a state-affiliated energy company that's affiliated with the same country, Ukraine, that his father, now as the U.S. president, is sending hundreds of billions of dollars of your taxpayer money to. That's where the real crimes lie. So this deflects accountability for the actual investigations that are more close to implicating Joe Biden, while coming in convenient timing right after the sham Trump conviction in the veil of bipartisanship. Don't buy it. I said this before, I'll say it again. This is a smoke screen, and the reality is you got to cut through it to get to the essence of what's happening in this country.
Yeah, he's right about that. So, I mean, you can see why the conservatives and the Republicans are very interested in this laptop. Never been a Russian disinformation thing to influence the election. And by the way, Trump got impeached over this.
Yeah.
It's just asking about whether or not Joe had done something bad in Ukraine, asking Zelensky. The Democrats in the majority or whatever, they impeached his ass for this. Again, does this sound fair to you at all? I mean, that's just one of the impeachments. We're going to get to the other
millions
one in a
of
second.
all the people that got thrown off of YouTube because they were trying to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Facebook,
not to mention that
Twitter.
They did polls. They said 17% of people who voted in 2020 said if they had known about the Hunter Biden laptop, they would have voted for Donald Trump. And you know what that would have done? Donald Trump would be your president still at this moment. 17% was enough to sway that election.
They wouldn't have cheated anyway,
but Donald Trump was the one trying to sway the election, or with his booking errors and stuff like that. No, Joe Biden's the one who election interfered. Okay. So this. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it.
The media is who election interfered.
Yeah,
because
and I've got a whole compilation here, but it would.
They would have.
Yeah. Well, and I had like a whole compilation to play of the media, but I think you get the point. The media was parroting this over and over. Oh, it's all lies. It can't be verified. Rudy Giuliani, he's being manipulated by the Russians. By the way, the American people and the world owe Rudy Giuliani an apology. He was clearly right here. They railroaded him as well. America's mayor during 9/11, they just threw his ass under the bus. So again, if all this is true, what makes you think the claims of election interference is false? We clearly have video of people putting up cardboard over windows so you can't see what they're doing at the election booths and things like that overnight when the water main break and things like that. So you want to call us conspiracy theories, but all this stuff is proving to be true the longer this goes on. So keep spouting your nonsense here. And not only that, I found it funny that after Joe Biden or Hunter Biden got convicted, Joe Biden that day went out and preached about gun control.
Yeah,
I mean,
seen that. I said, "Well, that's wild, boy. This is
still
talking about bad timing."
still peddling his lies about how, nobody needs 200 rounds in a gun, which I don't know about you. That sort of thing is definitely illegal anyway. Not to mention most people don't have that. 30 rounds tops. And then, he wants to talk about we got to ban assault weapons. In their eyes, assault weapon is anything that pulls the trigger and you get a bullet. I hate to tell you, that's a freaking pistol. That's not an assault weapon. An AR-15 does not mean an assault rifle anyway. It means Armalite rifle. It has nothing to do with an assault type weapon. So not only that, he likes to peddle the lie too about how when the founders wrote the Second Amendment, you couldn't own a cannon. Yeah, you could. But again, Joe Biden's lying about that too. It's just a bunch of nonsense.
He says you need F-15s.
Yeah, you need F-15s. That's my favorite one. You need F-15s to take on the government. But these are the same people who try to claim that January 6th was an insurrection that almost overthrew the government without any weaponry. So you can't have it both ways, Scooter. You just can't. But then again, if you want to preach gun control, talk about we got to have stronger background checks. We got to do this, and then you just say, well, your son who just lied on a forum is okay. That's hypocritical. It does make people wonder, like, if the Democrat Party's finally said, well, the Hunter or the Bidens are no longer useful to us, so now we'll say it's a legit laptop, and now we can just let them face justice and we can move on from them. That's very well possible too. That is the dirty game of politics. But if this is the big reason why Republicans are going after it, and I hope they continue to pursue it, especially once Trump gets in office.